What up, Space Fam? Goes in here from AnimeUproar, back at it again with another Demon Slayer video as promised. I mentioned in the How Strong is Tengen Uzui video that I will get started on the next video as soon as we hit 4,000 likes on that one, and we hit that within 24 hours. I also asked if you wanted Shinobu or Mitsuri next, and most people chose Mitsuri from what I can tell, so here we are for the Shinobu fans. Never fear though, same will go for this video, so spam that like button until it gets to at least 4,500 likes, I repeat 4,500, to unlock How Strong is Shinobu. Besides, smashing that like button is Yorichi energy and passing is Muzan energy, so choose wisely. If you haven't, make this the video you subscribe, and this is crucial, hit that notification bell to turn on all notifications or you will miss future Demon Slayer videos. That's just the way it works, and while you wait for the next Demon Slayer season and video to come out, feel free to check out my huge and growing Demon Slayer playlist, which includes videos on every demon moon, every pillar, every Demon Slayer, and much more. Link to that is in the description. Now a quick thank you to this video sponsor, Girl Cafe Gun. Girl Cafe Gun is a brand new shooter RPG development game that integrates TPS combat and live 2D interaction. Use multiple fighting skills and strategies by switching between 3 characters in one team and outsmart your enemies in style. This game combines the 2 core elements of shooting games, shooting and dodge. You can command the soldiers in the squad to repel the opponent while avoiding a barrage of bullets from enemies. Immerse yourself in beautiful graphics powered by live 2D, build your dream team by collecting character cards, and form an intimate bond with your favorite waifus. You also get to share personal moments and private messages, gifts, and more. Girl Cafe Gun offers a stunning audiovisual experience featuring top-tier voice actresses and compelling plot lines, and who doesn't want to have a hot secret agent waifu by their side? And if that's not enough, you can run your own virtual cafe with customized decorations and so much more. Check it out right now by clicking the top link down in the description, and don't forget the gift code. Girl Cafe Gun is a brand new game, so if you start playing now, you will get a head start on the competition, and if you use my link and gift code, you will be directly supporting this channel, so try it out for yourself. Now without further ado, let's jump into it, spoilers and all. Mitsuri is the love pillar and the 19-year-old best girl of the series. Let's start with her series debut and move through her feats of strength to uncover exactly how strong Mitsuri is. When she's first shown, aside from her outfit being one of the best things ever, she's also shown to be the only Hashira with a blushing face, as most of the others are wearing pretty stoic expressions. While other Hashira like Tengen and even Rengoku want to execute Nezuko and even Tanjiro for protecting her at first, Mitsuri feels bad about killing such a cute kid. The thought is too much for her, showing that she's much more sympathetic and kind-hearted than the average Hashira. She's also attracted by strength and reliability, as a heart is drawn over her head as she notices Snake Hashira Iguro, who's chilling on a tree as coolly menacing as a snake, to use her words. This is one of my favorite ships in the series, and love to see that it starts off right off the bat with a heart from Mitsuri. That being said, Mitsuri has compliments for most of the guys and even for Shinobu, like when she said Tanjiro was cute and that Giyu is adorable for being all alone and keeping his distance, and that Sanemi has even more scars than before and that makes him rugged, and that Shinobu sounds angry and that's rare and thus cool. Hearts frequently appear around her head during these moments of admiring others, but that makes sense for the love Hashira. The hearts don't always have to signify romantic feelings. Mitsuri tells the other Hashira that they should wait to hear the master's opinion before trying anything rash like hurting Tanjiro and Nezuko. And she's the only Hashira so distraught by Sanemi hurting Nezuko that she can't help but sweat and bring her hand to her mouth. So from the beginning, Mitsuri arguably made the best first impression. A gorgeous, lovey-dovey, positive, and compassionate person who was on the side of our protagonist more than anyone else except Giyu. And Giyu had ample time to grow attached to Tanjiro and Nezuko compared to her. Plus, as I mentioned, she's gorgeous, and her in her outfit is life itself. So all in all, it's hard not to love the love Hashira right from the start, but the question remains, how strong is she? To answer this question, let's fast forward to the fight against Upper Moon for Hantengu, where Mitsuri plays a vital role. Mitsuri is shown shown running towards the scene after it looks like Tanjiro and Nezuko have been defeated by Upper Moon 4. She rescues some swordsmiths from a fish monster quickly, and they are amazed by her speed and strength. One even says she's a strong Hashira, but he forgot because she's so cute. A good reminder that just because Mitsuri is super attractive, and I mean super attractive, doesn't mean she's not strong too. Mitsuri goes on to save another swordsmith, and we get a good sense of her blade, which is very unique. It's flexible and can move more like a whip than a sword, making her movements harder to predict, and the longness of the blade also increases her range as well. Although this seems like a pretty outlandish weapon, it's possibly inspired by the real-life urumi, a sword with a flexible whip-like blade that originated in India. Even one of the swordsmiths she is saving can't help but remark how weird her sword is. She goes on to beat the giant monster with one move, Love Breathing First Form, Shivers of First Love. Gotta love the names of these specific attacks, and you have Mitsuri to thank for them because, as with Tengen, she created her own breath style when she realized she couldn't fight to her full potential using Rengoku's flame breathing, which she learned first. After Upper Moon 4's Anger clone absorbs Hantengu's Relaxation clone, Sorrow clone, and Delight clone, they form the much more powerful Hatred clone called Zohakuten. When Tanjiro first sees this Hatred clone, he starts sweating, thinking that he can't breathe and that this clone is so overpowering that his heart hurts. Against this clone that can use all the powers of the others, Tanjiro, Nezuko, and Genya almost get beat for good. They're all captured, and Tanjiro is about to be crushed to death by a wooden dragon when Mitsuri comes in and saves Tanjiro by slicing up a giant wooden dragon head. Mitsuri even says she barely made it in time, further suggesting that Tanjiro was on death's door and has Mitsuri to thank for his life. Mitsuri tells them to leave the Hatred clone to her, and as the wooden dragons launch a lightning attack, Zohakuten is surprised to see that Mitsuri can cut his attacks. So like Kakashi from Naruto, she earned the title of Lightning Cutter. At this point, we're told a bit about her sword. Her beloved sword is extremely thin and flexible. The speed of her technique surpasses even Tengen Uzui's, a very significant detail if you've watched my recent How Strong Is Tengen video, where we emphasized his insane speed. We're further told that the speed of Mitsuri's techniques is made possible not only by the flexibility of her powerful katana, but by her own flexibility and incredible range of motion. It's added that her katana is difficult to use and will cut anyone else who wields it. It was made just for her, a weapon which only she can use. That is such a cool detail, and it shows how one of a kind Mitsuri is, far more than just a pretty face. She continues to cut the wooden dragons and the attacks that they launch at her. She's already doing better than Tanjiro, Nezuko, and Genya combined could do, and keep in mind these characters are all stronger than they were when they faced Upper Moon 6 with Tengen Uzui. Mitsuri manages to make her way through the Hatred clone's countless striking trees attack, and she even closes the distance enough to get her blade around his neck. Tanjiro is blown away by how fast she is, but it's no use because, as Tanjiro knows and Mitsuri doesn't, that's not the Upper Moon's real head. So what could have been game over for the demon actually ends up being a huge advantage for him, and he launches a compressed sound waves attack at point blank range against Mitsuri, who is right in front of him at this point. There's no doubt about it, this attack takes a big toll on Mitsuri, as we can see. But as the Hatred clone points out, it should have been much worse. He's shocked that she absorbed a full attack and that she's still whole. For the demon, it is inconceivable that she could survive that. It's then pointed out that Mitsuri is special in yet another way, and wow, does she ever have a lot of things going for her. We're told that she has a special constitution. Her physique belies her muscle density, aka, despite her slim figure, she has insane muscle density that makes her much more durable than most people and much stronger than most people, even if most people look much larger than her. Zohakuten gets excited by this, thinking that eating superior flesh like this leads directly to gaining strength. He goes to punch her head in, and then Mitsuri's life passes before her eyes. We're further told during this flashback that her muscle density is a whole 8 times that of a normal person. We even get an illustration of how her slender arms would actually look on a normal person with equal muscle density, and let's just say they'd be very jacked. At 13 months old, Mitsuri could already lift a stone that weighed 50 15 kilograms or 33 pounds, and her pregnant mother was shocked for the first time in her whole life when she saw this. Since her body was special, she ate more food too. She could eat more than 3 sumo wrestlers combined. So if you were to date this gorgeous woman, it would cost you a lot in restaurant bills. Luckily, when we jump back from the flashback, Mitsuri is not dead. Tanjiro and the others helped save her, and they're determined to protect her because in their view, she's the one with the greatest potential who shines the light of hope. They can only win if she lives. Mitsuri is touched by their words and actions and promises to beat the hatred clone, Upper Moon or not. We find out that Mitsuri loves the Demon Slayer core so much because they saw her strength as a blessing, not a curse like most civilians. She went from having to hide her true self to being valued by everyone, to being thanked by the people she saved, and Iguro even gave her her long striped socks. I don't know why she remembered this detail, but I love it because it shows how important Iguro is to her. Mitsuri explains that she would worry that it wasn't okay for a girl to be so strong and that people would treat her like she wasn't human. So in fear, she suppressed her strength in the past. But she tells us not anymore. With a determined look, she promises to protect everyone. Mitsuri, although she was already so strong, continues to improve, while focusing on raising her heart rate higher and speeding up her blood flow, so she can be faster and stronger. And she succeeds in occupying the hatred clone well enough so that all the others succeed in escaping and start searching for the main body. Keep in mind, it was already said that her techniques were faster than Tengen's, and now the hatred clone starts commenting on how she's moving even faster than before as she continues to improve before our very eyes. At this point, we see that Mitsuri has awakened her Demon Slayer mark, an especially cute one around her neck. And if you didn't know, Demon Slayer marks are like going Super Saiyan for Demon Slayers. It increases all of their abilities, including speed, strength, and so on. Demon Slayer mark Mitsuri is good enough to anger the hatred clone because she's too good, and as a result, he can't send a beast after Tanjiro, Nezuko, and Genya. His only consolation is that he believes since she's a human, she'll have to run out of strength eventually, and that's when he'll beat her. Eventually, we're told on a cover page that Mitsuri has been using a lot of big moves, so her strength won't last much longer, meaning that if Tanjiro, Genya, and Nezuko weren't going after the real body, she would lose eventually against Upper Moon 4. However, you're usually not expected to beat an Upper Moon alone, except if you're Muichiro and it's Upper Moon 5, so the fact that she is able to do this well speaks volumes about her strength. Tanjiro succeeds in destroying the original body, and we find out that Nezuko can survive in the sun. Meanwhile, just as Mitsuri cries that she can't take it anymore and that it's killing her, the hatred clone and his attacks vanish, letting her know that Tanjiro and the rest succeeded. And unlike with Tengen, Mitsuri didn't suffer any serious long-lasting injuries like losing a limb against this higher-ranking Upper Moon. Fast forward to chapter 182, and the team is taking on Muzan, the strongest demon. With Yushiro's help, they succeeded in tricking Muzan into believing that Mitsuri and Iguro were finished by taking control of Nakime's vision. Thus, Mitsuri catches Muzan off guard when she suddenly joins the fight he's having against Tanjiro and Giyu. Unfortunately, despite catching him off guard, Mitsuri doesn't succeed in harming the Demon King of Pop, and she claims she's never been so shocked. Mitsuri is not stoic when it comes to facing Muzan. Although she is strong, she can't help but think of how scary Muzan is and how she's never seen a scarier demon. She feels like she's gonna die on the spot, she's so scared, and wishes Gyomei, the strongest pillar, would get there soon. Against Muzan, you start to see Mitsuri lag behind the other remaining Hashira. Keep in mind, Shinobu is dead by this time, having sacrificed her life to help stop Upper Moon 2, and Tengen is practically retired and not fighting against Muzan. Mitsuri, Giyu, and Iguro all attack him together when Yushiro finally manages to get everyone outside of the Infinity Castle. It's the hardest fight of their lives, no doubt, as even when they cut Muzan, he regenerates the moment they cut him. So if they slice his neck, the part they sliced first is already healed by the time the sword exits the other side. Muzan is crazy strong, but what can you expect from the strongest demon? Between the three fighting Hashira, Mitsuri is the one that looks like she'll be taken out first, but luckily Gyomei arrives as she wished and stops Muzan's deadly attack. The very strong sun enemy, the Wind Hashira, also joins the battle at this point. Then once more, after Muzan's attacks get even faster, Mitsuri is the one who thinks that she can't see him at all and is relying on intuition and luck to dodge. She thinks to herself that she'll be the first to fall even though she's barely helped at all. And although she obviously did help, her prediction of being the first to fall is correct. She's the first one to get hit badly and gets a portion of her face sliced off to Iguro's horror. Iguro takes her to safety and puts her in good hands, telling her that she's done enough even though she wants to keep fighting. She begs Iguro not to get himself killed as tears rain down her cheeks. After Mitsuri gets taken out, Iguro turns his blade red, and this leads to a domino effect as Gyomei, Sanemi, and Gyu's blades turn red as well. Red blades, like marks, are associated with improved offense, and Muzan's regeneration is slowed down when a bright red blade is used to cut him. So unfortunately, Mitsuri did not get to partake in these red blade power-ups. After Muzan is defeated, a very injured Iguro goes to Mitsuri, who is on the verge of death because of her injuries. She no longer feels any pain, which is how she knows she's dying. While Mitsuri thinks she didn't help at all, Iguro insists that her bottomless cheerfulness and kindness saved many people, including him, and she should be proud. I love the fact that saving people is put into a different context here. It doesn't just have to be physically, it could be emotionally too, and throughout the series, Mitsuri evidently saved many people in both ways. We finally get their confessions of love, which I love to see. Mitsuri cries, saying she's so happy. She says she cares about Iguro so much and that meals always tasted best with him because he looked at her with so much affection. She begs him if they were reborn as humans for Iguro to take her as his bride, and of course he agrees because that is what he wanted all along. You don't just go out of your way to randomly gift a girl socks if you don't want to marry her in this life or the next. And they do get their wish. They're reincarnated in a later life and get their happy ending. And it was one of my favorite parts of the final chapter. However, that is a topic for another video. So back to the question, how strong exactly is Mitsuri the love pillar? Well, very strong. She is a Hashira because she excelled among demon slayers. Her technique was even faster than Tengen's, and that was before she awakened the demon slayer mark, which made her even faster and stronger. While Shinobu wasn't strong enough to cut off a demon's head, Mitsuri was exceptionally strong because of her crazy muscle density. She could not only cut a demon's head off, but survive attacks that would have left most people in shreds. And while Tengen was hurt badly, losing an arm and an eye by Upper Moon 6, even after having help from Tanjiro Inosuke, Zenitsu Nezuko, and his wives, Mitsuri was able to hold off Upper Moon 4's insanely powerful hatred clone long enough for Tanjiro to take out the real and much weaker body, and she suffered no lasting serious injuries. Obviously, she did eventually get defeated against Muzan, the strongest demon, and in that fight she showed that she couldn't quite keep up with Gyu, Iguro, Sanemi, and Gyomei. So all in all, as I explained in my Hashira rank from weakest to strongest video, link in the description, I would put Mitsuri above Shinobu and Tengen, but below the other Hashira. Still, it must be kept in mind that these Hashira are an especially strong batch of Hashira, and as we discussed in the Tengen video, Tengen was stronger than the many Hashira Gyutaro fought and beat before, even if Tengen was among the weaker Hashira of this insanely talented generation. And I always want to emphasize in these videos that there is much more to characters than just strength, as Iguro did such a good job of pointing out. Don't ever think I'm hating on a character just because I rank them lower in terms of strength, because many of my favorite characters are not the strongest characters. But that is it for this one. In the end, Mitsuri is not only best girl, but also the strongest female Hashira. If you did enjoy this video and want to keep the Demon Slayer videos coming, channel the Yorichi within and smash that like button. As mentioned, if we can get 4,500 likes, I repeat 4,500, I'll get started on my detailed breakdown on Shinobu and her abilities and overall strength. Besides, remember, smashing that like button is Yorichi energy and passing is Muzan energy, so choose wisely. If you haven't, make this the video you subscribe, and this is crucial, hit that notification bell to turn on all notifications or you will miss future Demon Slayer videos. That's just the way it works, and while you wait for the next Demon Slayer season and video to come out, which will be very soon, feel free to check out my huge and growing Demon Slayer playlist, which includes videos on every Demon Moon, every Hashira, every Demon Slayer, and much more. A link to that is in the description, and until next time, see ya, Space Cowboys.